Hey everybody, power, peace, purpose. So great to speak to everyone again. I just finished doing grand rounds, making a presentation to Children's Hospital in Savannah, the Memorial, Georgia Memorial, as well as speaking to some of the staff at Joe DiMaggio in Miami. So I've been doing a lot of traveling lately. Yeah, last week I was in my basement twice, and my wife tells me I have to be in the laundry room later this afternoon. But the ability to speak to Georgia and Florida at the same time and know that we can reach out whenever we need to reach out to friends of ours around the world is really kind of exciting and unusual. Probably would love to get beyond my basement and my laundry room, and I do get out a little bit, well protected, but it's really a very interesting time of connections in ways that we never thought of as deep, deep connections. When I was talking to our friends in Georgia and Florida this morning and teaching how to breathe in light and push out the darkness, I was talking about what we refer to at Kids Kicking Cancer as pain extraction. There are many, many, many techniques out there, and they're great and they're evidence-based, of how professionals, clinicians can distract children from their pain. The challenge is most of the time that they're uncomfortable. They could be at home, could be in the middle of the night, could be during a procedure where there's nobody around to distract them. We teach children to be able to identify the pain and to actually breathe through it. For example, when a child gets a shot, to be able to, rather than be distracted from it, but to identify the discomfort and to breathe it in and then to push it out the other direction. To breathe it in and then to push it out. To self-regulate in a way that the children become powerful by themselves. Pain extraction rather than simply distraction. And the truth of the matter is we all have pain and discomfort and things that challenge us. And ultimately, as we go through life, it's really easy to try to be distracted. Sometimes we eat to be distracted. Some people, unfortunately, get involved in alcohol or drugs to become distracted from their pain, but it never really works. Because ultimately, to take a journey away from oneself, whether it's to the basement or the laundry room, means that we're still incarcerated when we come home. And you can't leave oneself, and you shouldn't want to. Because the children at Kids Kicking Cancer teach us that no matter what you face in your lives, you have the ability not to just earn away from the pain, but to breathe in the light and to push out pain and fear and all of the challenges that we face on a very regular basis. And that's what power, peace, purpose means, that everyone is capable of not just running away from a challenge, but ultimately realizing that we're given a tremendous energy to face down those challenges, not to be afraid of them, not to feel overwhelmed by them. Because the moment you actually begin to fear the pain, fear the anguish, fear the suffering, in the brain, the pain, fear, and suffering become greater. It's what they call a neuromatrix, a term coined by Ronald Melzick, great expert in pain. We get stuck inside of ourselves, and the pain becomes greater, because you can't always run away. There's not always a trip to be had. But the real journey of life, our children teach us at Kids Kicking Cancer, is to reach into oneself with that power. And you know, when you do that, you can realize that ultimately, when we face down the challenges that are jumping upon us on a daily basis, we don't just simply try to be distracted from them, we can extract them. We can draw strength from them. We draw strength from the children of Kids Kicking Cancer. But ultimately, they teach us that the greatest journey that anyone makes in their lives is inside of themselves. And when we reach in with that light, when we know that ultimately we can access the greatest energy, and in the martial arts they call it ki, chi, tanagadalam, prana, neshama, light, but really it's our soul. When we can pull that energy into our soul and feel ourselves expand and be powerful, that creates an inner peace. So no matter what we face in our lives, we can breathe in that light and blow out the darkness. And when you do it, you're helping our children. Because every time you comment on a Facebook, on a Twitter, on an Instagram, on all the other ways that we're traveling throughout the world today, our children across the globe are watching. And when we work with a child, even the very first time we explain to them, you're a teacher. Not despite your illness, but sometimes because of your illness, if you can face down pain and fear and anger and bring that light into yourself, people are watching you. You're inspiring the planet. So every member of the planet that's out there that can sign on, thank the children with a comment, with a like, with a statement, how you're using this power to create your peace. You have a purpose because you're helping our kids. And you're helping us to tell the children that they have a purpose because they're teaching you and they're teaching the world. So don't be afraid. Don't just try to distract yourselves from the challenges of life. That's cool sometimes. But ultimately, the greatest journey is inside of yourself. And when you can bring that light within and push out the darkness, you realize how powerful, how important you are. Because people are watching you. And when you're watching the children, it creates a circle around the world that we refer to as the hero circle. Thank you and God bless. Power, peace, purpose.